Hey y'all, I'm James Roy, and this is the Noise Date Night Edition, a show where we talk about our weekly date night movie selections and give you the scoop. So, this week we watched West Side Story.
Woo.
It's a very classic film with a Steven Spielberg touch.
On the West Side.
On the West Side, starring Ansel Elgort and the assorted cast of people whose names I don't really remember. I know there's one woman who shows up from the original West Side Story. But yeah, no, before we get into that, we'll do our small talk, and then we'll get into a review of West Side Story. So here goes. Babe, how is your day going?
My day's going great. Just getting all the Christmas things done. How was your day?
My day's going pretty good. I've just been at home waiting for you.
Oh.
No, Christmas is coming fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the next couple of days, so just finishing up Christmas shopping. I do have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you or do you not like Christmas shopping for other people?
Oh, I love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite things to do.
Okay.
And then I can find stuff that I think people will like and then buy it. And then watching them open it and seeing if they like it or not. But yeah, I love it. It's so much fun. I also just like shopping in general. So any excuse to go shopping,
Okay.
I'm here for it.
All right.
What about you?
I like gift giving. I like to think I'm pretty good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily love Christmas shopping, but
Is it because of the crowds or?
I don't know. It's just weird expectations. It's different than normal gift giving where you're like, I see this thing and I know this person will like it and I'm going to buy it for them, as opposed to the pressure of on this date, this thing. It's kind of like birthdays for me, where it's on this specific day, this thing will be given to someone.
Mm-hmm.
And if I haven't thought of it well in advance, then you get into this time crunch where it's okay, well now it's less than a week away and nothing has stuck out to me, and now I have to make a decision, and I'm not fully sure that the person I'm buying for is even going to like this thing.
Well, do you put that expectation on yourself, or you feel like it's because of previous years and people's reactions towards your gifts?
Oh, it's definitely an expectation I put on myself.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I think Christmas is obviously not about receiving gifts, and I think if more people had that mentality, then it would make gift giving a lot more fun.
I agree.
Just putting that out there as a PSA. Be nice. Be
nice.
excited. Be thankful.
Even if you didn't want a book, you wanted a toy.
Yeah.
Just say thank you.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know. I feel like some people just want to get rid of gift giving altogether. And it's that's cool too, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
But, I feel like there needs to be some type of, giving in some way.
Well, Jesus is the reason for this season, and it's the life that he gave us.
Yeah, so maybe doing something about Jesus then, instead of just sitting on the couch,
No doubt. No, yeah. I love talking about the Christmas season with you, babe. This is our first Christmas married. I'm excited.
It is exciting. We'll see what happens.
The last time that I spent Christmas with her family was when I first met her. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, he met me on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm saying when I first met your family.
Yeah, no, that was the first time you met
Christmas
my family
Day.
was on Christmas Day. So that was really
I definitely said when I met you, but I did not meet you on Christmas Day.
I know. I was just giving you a hard time. He did not meet me on Christmas Day. Yeah, when you met my whole family. And you proceeded to tell them that I was the one.
Well, you were and are.
You said that I'm going to marry.
That was the old nickname, though. In with the new nickname. This is my wife, Courtney Hot Cocoa Ramirez.
Only because I call him Spice when he has an attitude.
So now we both have equally great nicknames for one another.
Yeah.
that are conditionally based on our moods.
So I'm not always hot.
What? No, you're always
Okay.
hot, babe.
Let's just go to the next segment.
All right, we'll do that. So this week we watched West Side Story, a movie that had already been done before. It was released in 1961. Notable difference here is that Steven Spielberg directed this one, and other than that, there was some minor switching ups of things that happened in the movie, but it was pretty much just I don't know. It wasn't even a modernization. It was still set in the same time period. It's a time period piece. It has to be set in the same time period.
Yeah, otherwise the themes probably wouldn't work.
But overall, only very minor changes throughout. But overall, I thought it was a really good movie. It's really highly rated on all of the services that do that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean that's what I thought about it. What did you think about it, babe?
Yeah, I thought it was good. It was really well made. The actors did great, and I definitely recommend seeing it if you like musicals. If you don't like musicals and it's just awkward, like hearing people break out into song, then you might not like it, but just throwing it out there.
But no, so before we get into the plot review, I'm going to issue the spoiler alert. Like we're kind of moving towards, it's going to be very brief. We're going to more focus on talking about what we thought of the movie as opposed to the plot. I feel like most people who are continuing past this point have seen the movie. So let's get into it. The spoiler alert's been issued. And I'll give a brief synopsis.
Make it brief.
I'll make it very brief. And so West Side Story is a classic tale. Everyone knows the story. We got the Jets. You've got the Sharks. They don't like each other. Made very evident in the opening scene fight. And then you kind of get a brief outlook on like how life is for each side. There's a lot going on, more to it than just like I don't like you and you don't like me. And then we get to the main plot conflict, which is that one of the guys on the Jets has been in jail. He just got out, and he's like trying to live a better life. And one of the Sharks is like a young independent woman who's like kind of unsure of like, I know she just kind of wants to move out of like the shadow of her brother per se. And then there's a school dance, and the underlying plot line is that there's going to be a rumble, a fight between the two gangs. Whoever win or go home, playoff type stuff, where it's like if we win, it's our streets,
it's our territory,
it's yours, and they have this big dance, and then this is where Ansel Elgort, who plays the main character, Tony, the guy fresh out of jail, sees Maria, played by Rachel Zegler, and the rest is history. They make eyes, and they're into each other. They have their little moment.
Kind of like us, babe.
Yeah, I know, right? They have their little moment, and then it's like, hey, you guys can't be together. It's to take a brief break from the plot recounts, this is very much Romeo and Juliet. For anyone who didn't like catch the drift, this is a retelling of Romeo and Juliet from the perspective of like New York City in the 40s, I think, right?
Yeah, it is supposed to be Romeo and Juliet. So the forbidden love.
So Romeo and Juliet meet Maria and Tony, and they get told, "Hey, Montagues and Capulets, I mean Jets and Sharks don't get along. That can't happen." Maria's pining after Romeo or Tony, and then Tony follows her after the dance and has the whole but doth what soft what light through yonder window breaks. It is Maria, and I need to have her. And then he gets chased away. We'll meet tomorrow. It's cool. They have a date, and then they make their right. The rumble goes down, and then Tybalt or Maria's brother dies at the hands of Romeo, which is Tony. And then Tony runs away, is in hiding.
Yeah.
Gets told that Juliet's dead. I mean, Maria. Sorry, I don't really mean to keep making these. Honestly, the
parallels.
The Romeo and Juliet parallels just keep coming to my head, and
okay.
I remember the story better from Romeo and Juliet than I do from West Side Story.
Oh, that's good.
But essentially, Maria's sister is like, or Maria's brother's wife, brother's girlfriend. That relationship's not clearly.
I'm very confused. I can't tell. I don't know if they're married. It doesn't seem like they are, but they could be. It also seems like they're in high school, but maybe they're not. I don't know.
She gets roughed up by the Jets, and
it's really
basically
unclarified.
Is like, Maria's dead. Tony goes out looking for the dude that is looking for him to kill him, and is like, "Go
Yeah.
ahead and kill me. I don't have any reason to live." He sees Maria just in
Mhm.
time to be shot in the back by the dude who was looking for him, and then Maria scolds everyone. Contrary to Romeo and Juliet, Maria doesn't, immediately turn the knife on herself, which
Yeah.
is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And
Does she
then
die in the original West Side Story?
I can't remember. It's been so
Yeah.
long since I've seen the original. I can only imagine she does.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It seemed because that would be something
Maybe I should look it up.
we should probably look it up.
Okay.
But while you're doing that, so that's pretty much the end of the movie. Big things of note. So the woman that Tony is staying with
Mm-hmm.
is this older woman. She's played by who is she played by? Is it Rita Moreno? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Rita Moreno. Who was in the original one and played Anita, who is played by Ariana DeBose. Actors that I thought did really well. Rachel Zegler for Maria was awesome. Ansel Elgort fit the role perfectly. And I also thought that Mike Faist, who played Riff, who was like the impromptu leader of the Jets, he did really well. By the way, your flashlight is on.
Oh, is it still on?
It is.
Oh, sorry. I thought we needed to see something.
No, but I definitely thought the worst actor is the general term. I'll go with that one. Ezra Menace played one of the Jets, and she was meant to be a girl that like wanted to be a dude. And honestly, it was
in the storyline.
The most frustrating part about her character was literally that she was just not great at acting on TV. And Courtney explained it to me. Do you want to explain it for them, like your understanding of like why she may or may not have been great at acting on the big screen?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much like her first real like role.
Yeah.
Ever. So I just felt like it was a little like elongated shots, and I felt like, I don't know, the parts were a little bit just kind of forced in a way. And so like it didn't seem like that would have been like the character's role for some of those things. Like because she wasn't like in the know with the group, like she was kind of on the outs. It was kind of like they were just trying to like insert her role in specific places to just kind of give her like a bigger role, so to speak. There was like an original role in the original movie where a girl does want to like, this is more like a tomboy and wants to be a part of the group. So it's not like off base to have this character. I just think it was a little bit awkward at times because it just felt like forced.
It played more into like, it was definitely rewritten in a modern view.
Oh yeah, and it was more or less on like gender. Like she didn't really identify herself as like a specific gender.
It wasn't like I'm a tomboy and I really want to be
or
one
like
of the
I'm
guys.
a girl and I'm a guy.
It was like I'm a girl and I want to be a guy.
Yeah. So
which was I guess more in line with like modern
mm-hmm.
what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Another thing, we were watching the movie and honestly it got really deep, and what was it? I always think of that one song from Sound of Music when I think of this song. You know, how do you solve a problem like Maria? But it's the I feel pretty. They made a big change to the lyric there. It's instead of oh so pretty, I feel pretty and witty and
well, how do you solve a problem like Maria is Sound of Music, not this one.
No, yeah, I know. That's why I said I always confuse it. I said it's from the Sound of Music.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was like, wait, what?
But no, so I feel pretty. They changed the lyric from gay to bright, I think, which they did that in a Gain commercial like 10 years ago.
I think so.
So it's not surprising they used that version. In 1961, I think that the term gay was a little different than it is now.
Well, yeah, it just meant happy.
So definitely an understandable change.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought the views were really good. What did you think of like how it was set, like in terms of the way they shot it?
Yeah, I felt like they definitely did a good job with the coloring. They kind of made it seem like it was set in that time frame and like shot in that time frame, just with really good cameras, which was really interesting to see because, you know, usually if you're setting like a timepiece nowadays, it's still pretty like the picture's pretty still clear and like the color is still pretty much like modern day color, but you can tell they really tried to mimic that same effect as the older version, which was really cool to see. I think the music was great. Obviously, they sang really well. They casted well with that, and I think overall, like it was a pretty well shot movie. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're nominated for stuff, which I think they are for Golden Globes, anyways.
I think they're nominated for a lot of stuff, but one of the big things, kind of to transition more towards like ratings and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
from what I'm reading, it's honestly one of the biggest like flops of 2021 in terms of what it's pulling in at the box office. Now, that's probably in no small part due to the fact that it released the weekend before Spider-Man, so it only
Oh
had
yeah, I
it.
mean,
It did like from what I heard all right that weekend, and then as soon as Spider-Man came out, Spider-Man just blew it out of the box office.
yeah, and I feel like this is one of those like they're probably going to do really well on a streaming service,
Exactly.
especially
Yeah.
for people who like musicals.
You said it's probably going to go to Disney Plus. I think it's a Disney movie.
It is going to Disney Plus.
It
I'm
is,
almost
yeah.
positive. So
Okay.
I feel like people are probably going to binge it on that and then have fun watching all kinds of musicals.
No, exactly.
So
And so before we do our negative Nancy bit, let's kind of talk about how the critics are viewing this movie as a whole. So just some quick hits while Courtney gets up the more specific details. IMDb is at like a 7.9 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes was at a 93%. And earlier it was giving me Facebook. Now it's giving me Common Sense Media. I'll tell you, Google gives you some weird stuff. But surprisingly enough, Google users, only 82% of them thought it was good, which is a startlingly low number for Google. But no, I mean, other than that, other quick hit facts. $100 million budget. I'll tell you, I looked all over, and I could not find specifically what the number was that this movie pulled in the box office. But I heard it was low.
yeah, I can't imagine it being very high. Again, it is a musical and it's a remake, so I feel like the audience pool is very small. It's a small margin of people who actually want to see these types of movies, especially when you're going up against Spider-Man. Like,
Oh no, exactly.
yeah.
I mean, we had our ticket booked for Spider-Man like 3 weeks ago, and we like on the way to the theater, we're like, oh yeah, let's get our tickets for
Well,
West Side
according to
Story.
IMDb, it was $100 million budget
No, yeah.
with a $10 million opening weekend, and their
Which-
gross is $18 million, and their worldwide is $28 million. So,
Which is an odd number because typically we either see movies like, since we've started reviewing them, it's either like 5 million or less, or it's like an amazing outcome.
mhm.
And that one's very run of the mill.
This one,
Yeah, it's like an awkward number we've never
it
seen.
didn't do bad. I mean, people went and saw it,
No, yeah.
but I think it's going to do better on a streaming service for sure.
I definitely think so. What
Yeah.
about the negative Nancy?
The negative Nancy's. I mean, people agreed with me on that character. It was just such a awkward character. I mean, whatever. Like, you're gonna put, someone from the LGBTQ. That's fine, but it just like was in an awkward place. And obviously, if you're gonna stick to the original completely, it's like, okay, that's the only thing you're changing. So a lot of people just didn't like it just because it just didn't go with the era and it just didn't go with the original. This one said, maybe it's the age catching up with Steven Spielberg, or maybe he thought that he'd just jump on the bandwagon from start to finish. Having parts of this movie in Spanish with no subtitles. I agree with that one. There was a lot of times where they were jumping into Spanish and you had no idea what they're saying unless you spoke Spanish.
I see the reason, and there was only a couple points where I was like, "That's a little bit much." Like, I
Did
feel
they
like
say?
most movies, if it's like a sentence or two, I don't need subtitles.
Yeah, because then they kind of pick it up with English and finish the sentence or a conversation in English, or they kind of like Spanish sentence, English sentence, and so you get like a gist of what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But there was a few times where it was straight Spanish and,
No, exactly.
and no English at all. And you just kind of had to fill in the gaps of like, based off of their attitude. These are like really bugging me. Based off of their attitude and all those things. So, okay. And then, boring and bad, 2 words. Well, it said in 1 word, boring and bad, and then it said 2 words. Disappointing. I was expecting good stuff from Spielberg, but his former talent must have left the room. Yeah, garbage. Why no subtitles? Again, remake of a classic. Why even try? Hollywood does it again. Yeah, I mean, some people just didn't like it. Again, if you're a super fan of the original, you might just want to stick with the original.
Maybe. I mean, I have seen the original and I thought the second one was worthwhile, but I think a lot of this is that Hollywood is there's nothing new under the sun, right? Most ideas, even this, when it was made in 1961, was a take from Romeo and Juliet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like now, this is like a take on a take, and there's only so far you can go. Hollywood is desperate to make a movie that's going to sell, and they were like, maybe it's been enough time that West Side Story can be redone.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
I mean, it's not like, we're looking at the difference between like a 1970s live action Captain America versus now, where it's like, yeah, this needed to be redone.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
like this one didn't need to be redone. It looked a lot better. The visuals were stunning, but it didn't look different, was the thing.
Yeah, it was a pretty movie for sure.
But on that note, let's get into our ratings for the movie. So our favorite scale, 1 to 7. What do you got, babe?
I'd say a 4.
A 4? I was thinking 4.5, so I think we're close.
Yeah.
You definitely. This is one of those ones where I knew you'd probably rank it a little lower than me.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a good visual. Like,
No, I think it was well made, but for me, the acting was subpar in some areas, and I can't get past that. Definitely, like, I mean, the lead girl did amazing.
Yeah, no doubt.
You can tell she wasn't as of a seasoned actress as others.
Yeah.
You can tell she was. I think her camera presence wasn't as prominent because she hasn't probably done a lot of roles.
Yeah.
Or maybe like drama. I don't really know. I haven't looked her up, but yeah, I think that, she did good, but is she like, should she win an Academy Award for Best Actress? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think she was good. I think Ansel Elgort
He definitely outacted her.
I think he was relied on to carry this movie.
Yes.
Because he is the more seasoned
But he
actor.
also played the same vibe as like Fault in Our Stars. Like, not the bad boy, but kind of the bad boy. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like Baby Driver.
The hopeless romantic and
all of his roles are like
they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which he does it well, so I can see why he's casted.
Oh, yeah.
I think the main jet that wasn't Ansel, I thought he did really good.
No, I told you. I said he did. It was Mike.
And Bernardo did great.
No, yeah, Bernardo did good.
So like the main jet and the main shark, I thought they did phenomenal. Like they could get
they were there,
nominated for supporting actors, I think. And I think they would do well.
No doubt.
Yeah.
But on that note, let's get into what we're going to watch next week.
Okay.
All right. And so here are some movies that we could possibly watch over the next few weeks. Now, this next one we're going to look at, I'll tell you personally, is definitely the one we're going to watch next week. And that is Spider-Man. You can expect a review on that movie as our next release.
You heard it here first.
No doubt. No, super excited for Spider-Man. A lot of new stuff coming up with Kevin Feige saying that if Daredevil was going to show up in the Spider-Man universe or in the Marvel universe, it would be the actor who played him in the Netflix series. And I tried to watch the Netflix series. I wasn't super into him. And that was the only guy.
I loved the Netflix series. Maybe because I was in Italy and at that point I had watched so many shows. And when I got to that one, I was just like, here we go.
Daredevil was the best one of all of them. And I felt like the character because the actor who played Daredevil was so good at it.
He's really good.
He is amazing. And I feel like other people will tell you things like, who was it? Like in the Justice League, Grant Gustin should play the Flash. And I'm like, no, he shouldn't. That dude's character, like the way those shows are shot, is so out of place from the Marvel universe or from the DC universe.
Yeah, he's too like happy-go-lucky.
Exactly. Whereas in Marvel,
it works.
Yeah, it transitions over. But also, Sing 2, that's coming up. That's the movie that's coming out soon. So we might go see that.
Possibly.
Matrix 4.
Sure, why not?
With Keanu Reeves. I mean, if it's Keanu Reeves, it's going to be a straight action thriller.
Yeah, again with, agendas, but I did see the first 3.
Yeah. And then, ooh.
No, we already saw that one.
No, we already saw that one. And then The King's Man, which I'm excited. It took me a while to get around to seeing. I do like
origin stories.
No, yeah, it took me a while to get around to seeing the other two. It's weird that online, when you look it up, they're referring to it as Kingsman 3 because it's a prequel. That's like saying
like it's the third installment in the series, but it's not like the third.
Well, that's like saying episode 1 of Star Wars is Star Wars episode 4.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Glad we figured that out.
All right. Well, and on that note, I have been James Roy. This has been Courtney Danielle. And this has been the Noise Date Night Edition. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Let us know what movies you'd like to see us review.
Yeah.
That are coming out soon. And until next time, peace.
Bye.